Powered by the Zapata Brand Studio. This is Straight Outta Jersey with Jersey Jay-Z.
What's up, everyone? I am Joe Zapata here, Straight Outta Jersey. My man, the Peptide King himself, the Doctor of Style, Doc Garrett Pope. What's up, Garrett?
What's up? How's it going?
Good, man. Good. So before we get started today's show, I just want everyone to know if they can go to equipfoods.com, use promo code JerseyJZ, get 15% off anything. They got great protein. Go to equipfoods.com, use promo code JerseyJZ. Free shipping also, so it's always very good. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and the big news obviously was Garrett RFK Jr. He actually came out. I'm going to put up here right now. He says he just announced that the FDA will remove 14 peptides from Category 2, currently barred from pharmacy compounding, to Category 1. Garrett, I got to get, you're the expert in this. What do you think about this? What is it, good or bad? Tell me.
Okay, so it's a catch-22. I see everybody online celebrating this. Now,
Okay.
I put the other day, boom. I didn't put anything else. I just put boom. And people are putting thumbs up and this and that, thinking like, oh, this is a great thing.
Okay.
This has positives. This has negatives. And I'm going to get into that now.
Go
The
ahead.
positives are, obviously, they're being recognized.
Mhm.
They're being shown, hey, it works. They're being trusted now. That's great. Where before, all the garbage of, well, I don't know if peptides work. I don't know if they should, be legal for people. They're unproven. The FDA hasn't tested them. Well, I find it a little funny how you went from 1 week. It was 1 week prior that the FDA was still saying, no, it's no good. It's no good. To 1 week later, oh yeah, we're all good. We're good to go. That's the first thing that raises a red flag.
Okay.
Now, it's good that it's being recognized. I think that's fantastic because it's going to bring peptides into the mainstream now. Because what's going on right now is peptides are underground, okay? The same way steroids, when they became illegal in 91, they went underground. That doesn't mean people still couldn't get them. That just meant they went underground. The same thing with the peptides. Now, this is the bad thing. And this is what I'm trying to explain to people that people aren't really grasping here. You never want the government involved in anything.
That's true.
Because once the government's involved, why are they involved? Because they care about your health? Because they care about anti-aging? Because they want you to live longer? Of course not. They don't want that.
You're right.
That's the last thing they want. What they want is their money.
Money.
So what they're realizing now is, well, people the peptides are becoming so popular. They're becoming so mainstream. How do we make our dollar off of it? And you have to understand that government has a history of this. We'll go to most recently, look what they did with marijuana.
Yeah.
For years upon years, marijuana was illegal. People would be arrested for marijuana. Now, all of a sudden, the government said, oh, wait a minute, everybody's smoking weed. We're going to make our money off of it. We're going to legalize it. Okay? Why? Because they're making money. Now, I'll go back a little further. You'll remember this. I'll remember this. Some people won't. Some will. But you go back to the 80s, the cocaine cowboy era. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Down in Miami, the Mario boat lifts, Scarface. Everybody knows Scarface.
Of course.
Okay, now, Scarface was made, that was a movie. It was made famous. A lot of people don't realize that was based on real life. That was based on the Cuban boat lifts, the Mario boat lifts. Now, what ended up happening is it brought in an element that was never seen before. Okay? They let things go until the Dade County Mall shooting down in Dade County, Florida. Okay? And that was the first time ever that they just opened fire at anybody, kids, women, anybody. In the past, it was always mafia hits down there. They would just listen. They would take out their target and that was it. They wouldn't hit wives. They wouldn't hit kids. Then all of a sudden this Dade County happened. That's what ushered in Cocaine Cowboys. And basically the reason why it was called Cocaine Cowboys is because they called it like the Wild Wild West. Okay. Well, there was a point in the 80s, believe it or not, the government was strongly, and I mean strongly, considering legalizing cocaine.
Wow.
Now, as wild as that sounds, they were considering it. Why? Because they wanted people to party. They wanted people to. Of course not. They wanted to make their money off of it because they saw what crazy money was being made, okay, across the country. They wanted their piece. They sat there and said, well, wait a minute. If we legalize this, not only we can drive the bad element out to an extent, but now we can tax all this and make our money.
Mm-hmm.
They never did that because they realized that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There was a certain contingent that said you can't do that. It's nuts. Okay, no problem. Fast forward. Now we're at peptides. You legalize peptides, and here's the issue. They're saying, and people online are saying, well, this is great because now we're going to know exactly how they're tested. There's going to be strict regimen for it to be tested and this and that. Well, hold on a minute. There's a strict regimen right now. And I hit on it briefly last week when I said, well, you can get peptides from anywhere, but you don't know what you're getting.
Yes.
But anytime you see online third-party testing, that's the first thing that should make you go, okay, well, let me look further into that. Okay, what does that mean? What does third-party testing mean? Does that mean my friend, John down the street is injecting it and going, yo, it's good? No,
yeah, right.
That's not what that means. Third-party testing is usually, I don't know if you ever heard of this before, Janoschik. Have you ever heard of that company?
No, I never heard of that. No.
Okay, Janoshik, Janoschik. And they do testing for anything. Okay, I could take a bottle of testosterone, send it to them, have it tested. I can take 2 mLs, have it send it to them, tested. I want to know if it's 100% pure. They will tell me. Well, the same thing with peptides. So any reputable peptide company will have Janoschik testing, and they will have the testing available for you to see. So what I tell people is you might see online third-party testing. Okay, well, where do I go when I find this? Where can I see the results? You should be able to see the results. Then if you can see the results of, and it's only Janish, no other company. I don't want to hear, people saying, well, we have a private lab that tests it. Get out of here. You know what I mean? It has to be Janish testing because they're impartial. That's a company that you send it to. They basically will send back and say, this is 100% copper in here. You're good to go. Or this is complete and utter crap. This is baking soda. I'm just, giving you an idea. So I tell everybody, there's already testing measures out there. The government wants to now tell you, we're going to have strict testing protocols in place. So now doctors can prescribe this and compounding pharmacies can legally sell this. But the problem with this is you're going to take a product, as you know what the government does with everything else, you're going to take a product that I'm just going to throw out there, might be $200, okay? And now all of a sudden the government's going to go, okay, well, we have to have the doctor prescribe it, then it has to go to a pharmacy, then we have to have the company that makes it, blah, 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 blah. Before you know it, that $200 product, they're going to turn to you and go, that's $1,080. And we don't know, your insurance might cover it or it might not. So if you have good insurance, it'll cover it. But if not, you got to pay it out of pocket. Now, even if you have good insurance, it might only cover 60, 70, 80%. So you're still paying what you originally were paying. Only you're paying the exact same thing. Now let's tag on $800, $900 additional that the government is making their money.
Yeah. Let me ask you, peptides. I believe that steroids should be legal also. You think this is the first step, peptides, and then you think maybe we're going to get even steroids being, maybe we'll be able to get that?
Yes and no. And I agree with you 100% on that. I agree 100% because they made them illegal in 1991.
Correct.
And that didn't deter anybody.
No.
Nope. Tell me anybody that goes, oh my God, they're illegal now. Now I can't get them. I didn't stop anybody.
Nope.
They've already made testosterone legal, TRT. Okay, that's
TRT.
legal now. Okay,
Yeah.
So where testosterone was illegal before, it's totally legal now. Are we going to get to a place where DECA, Anavar, I'm throwing things out that are used medically for medical reasons, where they're legal? Well, we are there already where that's legal because we prescribe with lake rejuvenation Deca-Durabolin to people, Anavar to people, oxandrolone to people, and it was for medical reasons. So that's totally illegal. as long as you have a medical reason for it. Now, there's no medical reasons to get prescribed trenbolone. There's no.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand? So where it's going to be, steroids are going to be legal? No, not across the board like that.
No,
as long as there's a medical reason for it, absolutely. I think I hit on it last week where I said anybody with a wasting disease, let's say, for example, AIDS, they can prescribe HGH, they can prescribe DECA because those are for wasting diseases. Totally legal. You can have that in a prescription and you're fine. We're never going to get to a point where they're going to be, hey, yeah, you got a bottle of Tren that's totally illegal. You got go get some Winnie. Let's go get some.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right because, for me, for me to get a bottle of something, let's say whatever, Cypionate or something, to go to the doctor in TRT, I have to spend all this money over, blood work, this work, that work, this work. Before I know it, I'm spending $1,000, and then I still got to pay for a $60 bottle. Why I want to go around that and just make it. They make it so hard. That's
You're exactly right. And I'm gonna be straight up with you. So when I had liquid rejuvenation, okay, and listen, I'm gonna call it a spade as a spade. I'm gonna be honest here. So you have all these wellness spas and these med spas and all these places popping up. When I had liquid rejuvenation, I used to say this, and this was the truth, to employees of ours and even to the neurologist. And he didn't understand. I said, do you realize we make more money on the blood work than we do on the actual product?
Wow, I did not realize that. Wow.
Yes, and a lot of people don't realize that. Now, listen, I'm going to be honest here right now, and this is probably going to piss off certain people that are going to listen to this, that have med spas and people that are friends of mine, and but I don't care.
Yeah.
The honest truth is, so the way it works is when we opened it up, I went to Quest Labs. Everybody knows Quest Labs. Okay, you got Quest or LabCorp. Those are the main two.
Yep, those are the two big ones.
I went to Quest Labs, and I talked to them, and we're going to send a rep to you, and the rep's going to meet with you on such and such a day at your office and sit down with you and go over everything. So it was myself, the neurologist, and their rep, and we sat down, and basically I said, okay, these are the tests that I want for every single panel of blood work, and I did it extensive. I did tests, liver enzyme, everything, A1C. We went extensive because I felt, people need to know everything on their blood work, even their B12 count, everything, okay?
Wow.
So we went extensive on it. But what people don't realize is this. These companies, our company, got discounted for this blood work. So, for example, the entire panel, so let's say we wanted a full panel done, okay? That entire panel, they would bill us once the customer went to them and got their blood work done. They would then bill us. They would bill us, $87, maybe tops $122, okay? Depending on what tests were done and this and that, okay?
Okay.
We would, on average, up front, bill the customer $750, $800.
Oh my God. That is crazy. Unbelievable.
So now think about something. And I'm being honest here. Initially, a customer comes in, I'm sorry, you have to get blood work done. Legally, there's nothing we can do without blood work. So they get their original blood work done. Now, here's where the catch comes in. Now that your blood work comes in, then it has to come back to us. Then we have to review it. Then we have you come in. Now, from there, if you're deemed low and you get the products and this and that, so every 6 months you have to get your blood work redone.
Oh my God, that's more money right there.
So every 6 months they're being charged. Let's just throw a number out there, $749. I'm just going to throw it because that was a number that was used a lot. Okay, $749 every 6 months. Not to mention the products that they're purchasing. So they're also getting their supply of stuff every 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever it is. And the idea is, okay, you're getting the Mick Ultra Burn shots, you're getting the B12 shots, you're getting testosterone shots, you're getting, and wait a minute, you're not comfortable injecting yourself? You're not comfortable taking the bottle and the needles home with you? Okay, well, if you want, you can come here and we inject you, but that's a $25 per injection fee.
Oh my God.
So as well as I do, there are a lot of people out there that are very, very uneasy giving themselves an injection, even an insulin needle injection. Well, of course we can do that for you, but there's an upcharge on that. You have no idea how many people we sold a bottle of vitamin B12 to, okay? And that vitamin B12 bottle would be 30 mLs. So that would be 30 weeks right there. And how many people, I can inject this myself. I can't do this myself. Okay, well, here's what we'll do. We'll keep the bottle here and we'll charge you a per week fee. And what we would do is they would come in every week, and every week their B12 injection would cost them $25.
Wow. Now would you charge them like a storage fee because you're holding their bottle too? Or
no, that we wouldn't do. No.
Okay.
No. That we wouldn't do. But I'm just showing you how
that's crazy.
It's done. When I tell people is it's a racket.
It is
done where people are making a ton of money off of it, and people think, oh, it's in the product. No, we were making more money in the blood work. Which if you have every customer come in and they have to get their blood work done, and then every 6 months they have to get the blood work redone. To chain, that adds up. So now the government is going to legalize this because they want their cut. They want their money. They realize everybody's doing this, but we're not getting our money off this. So what are we going to do to make our money? So now they're gonna legalize it, and people are going to run around and celebrate and go, "We're being recognized. This is great." And I'm sitting there going, "Are you really thinking this through? When has the government ever helped you? When has the government ever legalized something for you to help you? It's to put money in their own pocket." And people are celebrating this like it's the greatest thing in the world. I'm going to give you another example. I just spoke with somebody this morning, and they informed me that they can't get GLP-1s at all anymore through any online source.
What? Why?
Because the government, at the end of last year, put out an edict saying at the beginning of 2026, all peptide companies are no longer allowed to sell the semaglutides, the retatrutides, the tirzepatides, the Wegovy, all that.
Of course, yeah.
They raided at the end of the year last year, I think about 4 or 5 companies to show their might, to show people we're serious. Unless you want to be next, I will correct your situation. So they all pulled the things out, all their stuff out, and they won't sell it anymore. Now, are there things around this? Of course there are. There's one company that just decided to change their name from retatrutide to Riptide. Okay, but the problem is, how long is that going to last?
Yeah.
You're playing with fire. Honestly,
You've been in the industry for a long time. You know everything about the peptides and everything, steroids. When you had your company, did you have any problems with the FDA? Like, did they come knocking at your door anytime and say, "Hey, can we peek around"?
No. Who we did have a problem with, it was the state of Florida.
Really? Okay, the state of Florida.
Yes.
I didn't think you'd think.
State of Florida, the Department of Health in Florida, not the FDA. The FDA could care less. They literally didn't give a crap. The state of Florida, they cared, and here's why. They wanted their cut. They showed up after about, I don't know, I had the clinic open for like 6 weeks, and they showed up and they said, okay, we need a licensing fee, this, that, whatever, to operate and all this kind of stuff. Okay, no problem. Well, we're going to have to schedule to come down and do a full inspection and all this kind of stuff. Okay, let's set that date up, this, that. I set everything up. I was contacted by them about 2 days, maybe 3 days later. It was that same week. Hey, listen, we could bypass that whole thing if you want to just send the check in.
Wow.
Wait a minute. I thought you had to do a full inspection. I thought you had to. No, we could, as long as you send the check in and we know you're registered with us, we're all good. Okay. So I saw you just wanted money. I understand that. Okay. Send the check in. Everything was fine. Everything was happy. They sent me a little operating notice that had to be placed on the wall in view at all times. Okay, whatever. It had to be up there with the doctorate and all that. Okay, whatever. Whatever you want to do, I really don't care. You know what I mean? Whatever makes you happy. Then all of a sudden, they would step in on things where I told you last week, I got a little bit into it with the old compounding pharmacy, Hoy's Pharmacy. Okay. Well, they were doing some shady things. So the state of Florida looked into them. When they looked at them, they then looked at everybody's prescriptions.
Yep.
And well, this testosterone prescription was renewed quicker than it should have been. It should have been renewed at the 10-week mark, and it was renewed at the 6-week mark. And so then they started looking into little things like that. And they would contact me. They would send a letter And, listen, the neurologist, I'm going to be honest, because he's no longer alive. So it doesn't matter. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus here. You know what I mean? I would never. His background was, yes, he was a neurologist. Yes, he was brilliant. But he also made all his money in the pill mills.
Oh, wow.
He had down here about 6 different businesses locally that were pain pill offices. That's where he made all of his money. When he wanted to do this with me, he basically said, listen, they're coming down hard on the pain pill practice. I want to get out of that. I want to shutter those. So okay, great. He basically would say to me, you handle everything. The state of Florida, you take care of that. They don't like me to begin with. Okay, no problem. And I understand why they didn't like him, because he had
the pill mill.
So they would contact me and they would say, listen, this was renewed, blah, blah, blah. I tell you what, if you send us a fine for $125, all taken care of.
Jesus.
Okay.
Wow.
And I would do that.
Wow.
And then never hear from him again.
Wow,
They
that's
just
crazy.
wanted their money.
Yeah,
so
that's
everything
crazy.
is a business. Everything is somebody's got their hand in your pocket. And that's how they operated. Now, towards the end of things, when Hoy's Pharmacy went down, and then with our company, what ended up happening was one day I was on the phone with my business partner, who was the neurologist, and there was somebody coming in. You might, I'm going to say his name on here right now, because in case he listens, and I'm going to tell him that he will remember this. You might remember him because he's originally from Jersey. Do you remember in North Haledon a company called Hard Bodies Supplements?
Yes, I do. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Memory on you.
The owner of that, he lives, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 minutes away from me. Okay?
Get out of here. Really? Wow.
To God, he moved down here. I moved here in 06. I believe he moved here in 04 or 05. We worked for the same company, Lifestyle Family Fitness, which is now defunct. And so his name, Ed Stern, okay? And he owned Hard Bodies. He had an appointment that day, okay? He had an appointment to come in, go over his blood work and all that. At the time, I had the gym, the Pope Training Performance, and I had Lake Rejuvenation. So I would be back and forth between the two. And I was there in the morning, and I called up my business partner, okay, Michael. And I called him up, and I was on the phone. And I said, hey, listen, the patient's name is Ed Stern. Everything's left out on the table for you. I can't be here for this one. He's a very good friend of mine, okay? Everything's laid out on the table. You just have to go over his blood work with him and all that. Normally I do that. I can't, I have clients. I got to be over there. So, he goes, oh, no problem. What time? I go, 1 o'clock. I think this was I was talking to him at 11 a.m. I said, it's a 1 o'clock appointment. So, you have to be here, this and that. I'm taking off as soon as I get off the phone with you, this and that. While I'm on the phone with him, it sounded like he choked. That's what it sounded like. And he goes, like this. And me, who am not the most patient person in the world, turn around and go, Michael, cut the shit. Will you listen to me? And I couldn't hear anything. And all of a sudden I heard, boom, 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 like this. Nothing. I'm like, Michael. All of a sudden, which is odd, his wife comes into the room, picks up the phone, cell phone, looks at it, I guess, goes, Garrett? And I said, yeah. She goes, I believe, very calm, I believe Michael just died. Let me call you back. Me. All right, whatever. Call me back.
That's typical you. Yeah. All right.
Exactly. Like, I'm thinking to myself, oh, Jesus, he just tripped over something. And, like that's what I'm thinking. And she's just being sarcastic. I think Michael just died. Let me call you back. All right, yeah, call me back. So I leave, okay? I get to, my gym, which was only one exit away, okay? So about 5-6 minutes away. Get there, this, that. I'm with a client. I had my cell phone in my pocket, and I see his wife calling me from her cell phone. So I answer it. And I go, hey, I'm with a client. What's up? She goes, Michael's dead. So I go, yeah, right. Whatever. I go, listen, I'm with a client. I can't really joke right now. She goes, no, he's dead. Now, this is what was odd to me. Like this. I mean, this was 20 minutes later. Michael had an aortic aneurysm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's dead. So I go, you declared him dead? Like, are the EMTs even there yet? Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So she goes, let me get back to you. Okay. I'm still a little skeptical over everything. I don't hear back from her at all that day. I don't hear back from her at all the next day. I don't hear. So I call a few times. Nothing. I obviously call Ed and say, hey, listen, Michael can't keep your appointment today. So you know what's going on, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm going to get back to you. 5 or 6 days later, it was the following week, she calls me. Hey, Garrett, I had him cremated. Now, he was supposed to be buried, okay, next to his father. His father had a plot and everything. He was supposed to be buried next to his father, okay? His father was also a doctor. He was cremated, and unfortunately, that's all I have to tell you. When can we meet this week to divide the company up?
Wow, this is strange.
Right?
Yep.
So I'm like, okay. Well, what I knew, what she didn't know, was Michael specifically left her out of that and put the company is 100% mine in an event of anything happening to him.
Wow. Very smart.
I lucked out. He never even told me that. Okay. I found out after the fact. Okay. I said, okay. When I found that out, obviously I played hardball, and she came in to meet and sit down with me, and I told her, you don't have a leg to stand on. There's nothing you can do.
Wow.
Nothing at all. She threw a fit. She stormed out. You think about a number. You owe me money, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, that's not. Next thing I know, she vanishes. She vanishes.
Okay.
About a year and a half later, 17, 18 months, I'm in the gym training people one day. And one of the other trainers that I had there, female, she comes in. The way it was to the front hallway, there used to be a door that would shut everything off. So I couldn't see up front, okay? And somebody else would be up front if anybody came in. And she opened that door and she goes, I think you should come up front. I said, I'm with somebody right now. And all of a sudden she opens the door so I can see completely. And there's a Manatee County detective standing there with 2 Manatee County sheriff's officers.
Oh, boy.
So I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? This is weird. So I said to my client, I went up front and I said, I'll be done in about 15 minutes. Do you want, and they said, well, wait, no problem. I said, okay. Once we sit down, the 2 sheriff's officers never sat down. They were in uniform. They were just standing up, arms folded like this. Okay. The detective sat down. The detective had a folder. The detective goes, let's discuss this. And he opens the folder and he starts going like this, throwing out all these scripts. Okay. And there's script after script after script after script. And it's his script book.
Okay.
And written on his script book these are prescriptions. And I'm going like this. And I'm looking at each prescription leaning forward. I'm going like this. And I'm looking at each one. I'm going, okay, what's going on? He goes, you had access to his script book. These are still being written a year and a half after his death. You need to explain these. I turn around and I go, no, actually I don't. Because you see that name on there? That's his wife's maiden name. She must have changed her name back, and that's her name that's signed on the bottom on all these scripts. That's not his name.
Wow.
The detective, dumbfounded, looks at the script, turns back, looks at me, looks back at the script, and goes, we did not know this. We had no idea. So I said, yeah. Now, I'm not going to say the name, or obviously I'm not, that's because that became a whole illegal thing. So I explained it, and again, looks and goes, okay, can you tell us more? And I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, look, all these scripts are being written for things like painkillers, Adderall, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I said, if this stuff was written for testosterones out to different people and this and that, I said, I could see you coming to talk to me. I said, because that was our business. I go, the pain pill wasn't our business. I go, that I had nothing to do with. I said, I only had to do with the hormone replacement. I said, he had everything to do with the pain pill. And then I looked and I said, if you look at some of these pharmacies, they're up and down the East Coast. I go, they're up, a lot of them were up in the Northeast. I'll just leave it there.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I said, I don't travel outside of Lakewood Ranch, let alone the state. I said, I don't leave Lakewood Ranch, let alone the state. That's proven. So they started looking. They said, okay, well, we need to know this. And they wanted to know the last known place where she was, this, that. And they left that day. Thank you for your help, this, that. Never heard a thing again until about another year later. And about another year later, same detective contacts me and goes, I'm going to have a homicide detective contact you. He'd like to speak with you.
Jesus Christ.
Then I was informed there was a homicide investigation.
Oh, wow.
And if you do the math and add everything up with that quick cremation and that he died, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And, I went.
Was he pretty healthy? Was he healthy normally? Like he's pretty healthy, you saw him?
He had Parkinson's.
Okay.
So he had Parkinson's. So that was his thing. He was very shaky. Okay. He was always, the hand was always shaking. That was the whole thing. That's why he couldn't give injections to people, because he would go to give somebody an injection in the arm and he might hit him in the ear. You know what I mean? So that's why he could never give. That was the one thing, he could never give anybody injections in the ear, because it would be like, you know what I mean? So, but besides that, he was healthy.
Okay.
He just had the Parkinson's. That was it.
Okay.
It was a little odd. From what I was told, and I was told at that time, listen, if we need you to testify in court and this and that, we're going to subpoena. I said, no problem. I never heard back after that. What I was told on that day was they believed it was mercury poisoning.
Wow, that's crazy.
And that's what I was informed. And I just went, okay. And nothing. That was the end of it. I was asked if I would testify, and I said, yeah, I mean, anything. The guy was a good friend of mine. He was, he was a good guy. You know what I mean? I said, absolutely. And that's the last I ever heard of anything again.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of a crazy story.
It is. That is crazy, man. Jesus.
Yeah.
With you, everything is crazy.
Totally off subject right now. But
no, that's fine. It's a crazy story. That's crazy. Everything with you.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very entertaining, crazy story. And I made sure right there, I didn't use last names.
That's good.
I didn't use, listen, I said that story very carefully.
Yeah. I've seen worse.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was very careful with that. You know what I mean? I wasn't dumb.
Yeah. With the RFK picture here, do you think he's doing more than peptides?
Oh, yeah. He's doing
He's doing
TRT.
Yeah, definitely TRT,
which he
right?
admits to,
Okay.
He admits TRT, he admits to peptides.
Okay.
And I think he's using low-level HGH.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Just by
the way he looks.
Feeling. That's my opinion. That doesn't mean but that's my opinion. When I say low-level HGH, he might be using like a woman's dose of HGH. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
But he's in phenomenal shape.
He's in great shape. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Okay. And I 100%, listen, I tell people straight up, I hear people making fun of RFK and this and that, and I go, whoa, hold on a minute. The previous health secretary was a man in a dress.
Yes.
I'd much rather take a meathead, okay, that I would respect. Anybody that's going to work out, I'm going to, hey, okay, I'm going to root for you, than a man in a dress. And if that offends any men in dresses, I really don't care.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Glow, which is in the peptide. We're going to go to that. All right. I'm going to bring it up here. Glow is the peptide. You know a lot about this Glow peptide. People have been asking about it. So what can you tell me about Glow peptide?
Glow is phenomenal. And the reason why Glow is phenomenal is it's got the main product in it, which is copper. Okay.
Okay.
Which is the, man, I don't want to screw it up. I always want to get the right thing. So give me a second.
GHK-Cu, I think it's called.
Yes, it's exactly. It's
GHK-Cu.
Yeah, GHK-Cu. There we go.
Yeah.
I always want to make sure. And that's copper. Okay, that's the main thing. That's what gives it its color. Okay. I tell people, I've seen people before say to me they're using Glow, and I go, oh yeah, it's bluish or purple, and they go, no, it's white, and I go, you're not using Glow then. Whatever you're using.
has to be white.
No. It doesn't. Glow has to be bluish purple.
Okay, bluish purple. Okay.
Bluish purple. So I tell everybody it has a bluish purple color to it.
Okay.
Whether it's in powder form or it's mixed. If your glow is white, you're not using glow. You're not using real glow.
Okay.
So that's
Is it
the first thing.
injectable? Is it
What was that?
injectable or topical? Injectable or
Injectable.
topical? Okay, that's the only thing it can be. Injectable is the only thing.
Yes.
Okay.
And glow is injectable. So it's the copper. It's the BPC 157 in it, and it's the TB -4 TB 500. Same thing. Which is the body compound, the whole thing. The BPC and the TB is the body repair, tendon repair, ligament repair, all that.
Okay.
The copper. Now, here's the thing about the glow, which I tell everybody. Glow number one. For all these people out there using GLPs and all that, what happens? You know what? Not even GLPs. I'll use anybody. And when I want to make this statement real clear here, because I have a lot of people I know, clients I know, ex-clients I know that have dropped ridiculous amounts of weight. And what happens when you drop a ridiculous amount of weight? You have loose skin, right?
100%.
Skin elasticity. Now, the reason I want to make this clear is that's not just about people that were overweight and lose weight. That happens to bodybuilders also.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, you're right.
That happens to bodybuilders also. I've seen a lot of ex-bodybuilders that were jacked at one point, and now all of a sudden they look like a shell of themselves, and they have a lot of loose skin. The glow, one of the biggest things is it rejuvenates the skin. It tightens the skin. Now, multiple uses here. Will it tighten the skin as far as body goes? 100%. Will it tighten the skin as far as your face, your head, under your eyes? Absolutely. So it has so many uses and so many benefits. It's not even funny. And I tell people it rejuvenates your skin. It tightens your skin. Anybody that has had a dramatic weight loss, this product is phenomenal for.
Can glow replace Botox, you think?
No.
Botox?
No. And
Why?
the reason why is Botox is filler.
Oh, okay.
So where Botox is filler, and you're taking, let's say, we'll say a deflated balloon, and you're blowing that balloon back up. Where glow is you're taking that deflated balloon and you're stretching it like this.
Gotcha.
So you see the difference?
Yeah.
One is you're putting something inside and then filling it back up. The other is you're just tightening it. So, there's a difference.
What is dosage? Does that depend on the person for dosage for that?
What I tell most people the dosage is on the glow is this. So you have a 70 milligram bottle. Okay. And what you do with the 70 milligram bottle is you put 3 mLs of water into that bottle. Okay. So 3 mLs of water, that gives you a 30-day supply. You then do 10 IUs on an insulin needle, 10 IUs daily. That's a 30-day supply of the glow, okay, at 70 milligrams. Listen, they sell other milligram dosages glow. If your milligram dosage is lower, then obviously you wouldn't use this protocol. I'm going based off of 70 milligram glow, which I consider the gold standard milligram dosage.
Okay.
You put in 3 mLs of water, that's a 30-day supply right there. Now, what I tell everybody is, unlike NAD 500 and NAD Plus 500 and other products where you can stay on there and you don't have to get off of it, the glow, I recommend everybody get off of. So you stay on for a max of 60 days and then you come off for 4 weeks. And the reason why is not that it does any damage to you, not that it could do you any harm. It's because your body will adjust to that.
Oh, wow.
Meaning, if your body adapts and adjusts to it, you're basically just taking that product and throwing it out the window. It's not doing you any good. You're just wasting your money at that point. So what I try to tell everybody is, as hard as it might be that you have to come off of it, because trust me when I say you will see and feel a difference with this stuff.
Really?
You have to, because your body will adjust. And once your body adjusts to it and adapts to it, 2 things will happen. Number 1, your body won't respond. Number 2, the only way it will respond is then it will have to have a higher dose.
Yeah.
You don't want that. You don't want to keep on increasing your dosages. These people that stay on GLP-1s forever, what happens? They have to keep on increasing their dose because otherwise your body adapts and you don't see any difference. What's just going to happen is, oh, well, I was using 2.5 milligrams, then I was using 5 milligrams, then I was using 7.5 milligrams, then I was using 10 milligrams. Oh, man, I'm up to 15, 20 milligrams now, and I'm seeing the results that I used to see with 2.5 milligrams. That means your body's adjusted. It's the same thing with people, which I never understood, but with people that, oh, man, I don't see anything at, I'm just going to use a product up there, 20 milligrams of Anavar daily. So I'm using 100 milligrams daily. You're frying your receptors.
Yep.
Honestly, not true.
Yeah.
If my belief is with anything, less is more. If you can use the least amount and get what you need out of it, get results out of it.
Yep. Can you stack it? Can you stack it with other drugs? Like you can. Okay, you can take it with other stuff. Okay.
NAD plus, Glow, other peptides. If you want to use growth hormone secreting peptides, if you want to use HGH, if you want to use, that can all be used. Testosterone can be used with it. But as far as peptides go, absolutely. Glow, NAD plus, they can all be used. I just tell people there's no need. If you're going to take the Glow, you can eliminate the straight up BPC and the TB because you have it in your Glow.
Wow.
So it eliminates something, and the Glow has a lot of benefits that the TB and the TB and the BPC by itself does not have. So what I tell everybody, it's anybody with weight loss, and when I say anybody, like I said, it could be from bodybuilder to somebody who's lost weight to somebody who's changed their body in a gym to anything. If you have loose skin, this is amazing. Now, this also is amazing, like I said, for somebody who's just getting wrinkles. Yeah. If somebody looks in the mirror and sees wrinkles and goes, well, I don't want to get Botox. I don't want to get, listen, I'm not a big fan of the lip fillers and the Botox and because when you see, they look like the Joker. They have the permanent smile on their face.
Yeah, they do.
They got the big puffer lips. They look like Wanda from In Living Color, remember?
Yes.
So I'm not a big fan of that. When I see that on people, right away I turn around and I go, it looks very fake to me. And you're better off, if you can tighten your own skin using these Glow products and all this kind of stuff, you're better off doing that. You're better off doing that. And not to mention the other benefits it has, which there's great benefits to it as far as fitness goes and working out and all that, and body repair and tendon repair and ligament repair and all that.
Yeah, that's great, man. All right, I'm going to get to some questions that came in and that it came in that want me to ask you. And everyone just like and subscribe, hit the thumbs up, show us some love. We got Garrett's so knowledgeable about all this stuff. Here's some questions that just came in and I'm going to send them out to you right now. Maria P from Emerson, New Jersey says, do I need to do blood work before trying peptides? And what should I be looking for in my blood work?
I would recommend blood work. Absolutely. Do a full panel. When I say do full panel, you want to be looking specifically anything wrong with your liver enzymes.
Okay.
Anything wrong, anything liver related, anything glucose related, anything pre-diabetic. Because understand a GLP-1, if somebody's going to do that, that was designed as a diabetic medication. So if you're insulin resistant, etc. So yes, I absolutely recommend doing a complete panel of blood work. Is it necessary? You can use certain peptides without using it, but I would recommend no. Go ahead and get your blood work done, and that's with anything. If you're going to jump on testosterone, why not get your blood work done? Why not know where you're at? If you need B12, why not get your blood work done? Yep. You know how many people don't realize they're deficient in vitamin B12? Do you know how many people don't realize for women? Oh my God, my estrogen is off. This is off. That's off. I tell everybody, get blood work. Whatever you're going to use, get blood work. Heck, if you're older, get blood work if you're going to use creatine.
Really?
How is it going to hurt you to get blood work done? How about this? Even if you're not going to use anything at all, why wouldn't you get your blood work done?
Yeah, you're right. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you use nothing at all, even if you're like, I don't want to use peptides, I don't want to use testosterone, I don't want to. But it'll benefit you to get your blood work done. But if you get your blood work done, you'll know if something's off. You'll know if you're deficient in something. You'll know if you're pre-diabetic. You'll know if you have high cholesterol or low cholesterol. You know, it's funny because, so I donate blood quite often, okay? And one of the things about donating blood is it keeps your platelet count low. I don't know if you know that. And that's something that I've always had a high platelet count, even younger, okay? So I always donate blood because I run on the thick side of blood, you know what I mean? Yep. So it thins it out. And every time when you do blood, they do your blood pressure and they do your cholesterol. Okay, you get that every single time. And listen, I'm lucky. I've always had low cholesterol. I remember at I think college physical, my cholesterol was 127. Okay. It's always stayed low. So I'm extremely lucky in that aspect. But you have no idea how many people get their blood work done and their cholesterol is 340, 370, and they had no idea. Wow. I'm like, it's that's beneficial, crazy. You know, or blood pressure. Okay. You have no idea people have high blood pressure and they have no idea about it. They have no idea. And I'm like, get a cuff, get one of those machines yourself, and you can do it yourself. Now, I've always, again, luckily I believe it or not, I don't know how, but I've had perfect blood pressure. Okay. And I'm, you know, I don't know how, I really don't. Okay. Because, my mother runs high blood pressure and, you know, but I've always had perfect blood pressure. But again, I tell anybody, and this is totally off topic right now, but if you have high blood pressure, rather than letting a doctor put you on medication, there's something called total beets. Okay. Total beets. Okay. Total beets, like beet powder. Okay. Yeah. And it comes in powder or it comes in pill form. I tell people the powder form. Now I take it has nothing to do with blood pressure. I take it because it's nitric oxide booster also. So people don't understand the benefits of total beets, but if you have high blood pressure, before going the medical route and having doctors put you on blood pressure medication that you're going to have to be on for the rest of your life, try this total beets. You can pick it up at Amazon. You can pick it at Walmart. It's something that's over the counter. It's $20 for a jar of 30-day supply. It's phenomenal. It'll lower your blood pressure. That's just a little side.
I heard TMG is pretty good for blood pressure too.
TMG?
TMG is good for blood pressure. TMG.
Yeah,
I saw that. I heard that was good.
That also is good for blood pressure too. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that you don't have to have prescribed that are good for blood pressure. And I tell everybody, if you can go the route of not having something prescribed, because understand something. Every time you have something prescribed, a medication, whatever it is, that's on your permanent record. People don't seem to realize this. People don't seem to realize when they're on 50 different medications, you switch doctors, they see all that. You go to a new doctor and they see you're on every medication under the sun. What are they going to do right away? Oh, I want to put you on 5 new medications. Yep, 100%. Right away, because they see dollar signs. But you go switch doctors and you're not, listen, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything here. I have never been on a prescribed medication in my life. I mean, for anything. Okay. Wow. When back in 2007, when I had surgery because I tore the bicep tendon, they prescribed me painkillers. I didn't take them. I refused to take them. Oh, fill this. Trust me, you'll need them. Oh, okay. That's fine. I didn't use them. I've never been on prescribed medication, blood pressure, you name it. You know what I mean? People are on the antipsychotic medications now and this and that. I'd rather be psychotic. I'd rather, you know.
You know, and I know you a long time and you've always been in great shape. So, I mean, it's like, and you can tell you eat right, you do everything. So, I mean, people really should listen to what you have to say.
And you remember, I've always eaten a specific way.
Yep, 100%. We used to go to the diner at night and you get the, you know, the buffalo burger, bison burger, whatever. Myself, remember
the bison burger with this? Oh yeah,
yeah, all the time. Here we go. We got a question from Chris from North Vale, New Jersey. He says, "Can peptides permanently suppress natural hormone production?"
Absolutely not, because it's not hormone related. It's not. Peptides don't mess with your testosterone.
Okay.
Growth hormone secreting peptides don't mess with your growth hormone. Now, see, here's what I try to explain to people. Real HGH can suppress your natural hormone production. Secretors cannot, because all it's doing is increasing what you could naturally produce. It's not putting artificial in you.
Gotcha.
But no, peptides don't suppress natural hormone production because it's not hormone related. It doesn't have anything to do with estrogen, testosterone, anything like that. It's not, where people, you take, for example, I hate to keep on harping on this because I think it's a very bad drug, is tren. Okay. You take tren and how that could affect your estrogen, your testosterone. It could affect a lot of different things. Peptides don't do anything like that.
Okay. All right. Next question here. Roger F. from Totowa, New Jersey goes, "Hey, Garrett, I know you from Strong and Shapely. What is up? Is tendon healing with peptides clinically measurable on an MRI?"
Well, Roger, I haven't been at Strong and Shapely in a very long time. So unfortunately, I don't remember you, but if I saw a picture, I probably would. But last time I was at Strong and Shapely was over 30 years ago, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Been a very, very long time since I've trained there. But yes, it absolutely is. And let me clarify what I mean by that. If you have a frayed tendon, partially torn tendon, obviously not a fully torn tendon, because a fully torn tendon requires surgery. Okay. You're not going to, when a tendon fully tears, you can't take a peptide to magically just go like this and it's going to reattach. Okay. But when you have a partially torn tendon, a frayed tendon, and that MRI will show that, absolutely, with peptide therapy, you get an MRI. Let's say you run the peptide therapy for 12, 16 weeks, whatever it is. And afterwards you get another MRI, you will absolutely see the difference in the MRI. So absolutely, yes.
Okay, very good. We got Ben T from New Jersey. He says, "Do peptides create new tissue or just enhance body's natural repair rate?"
Now, that's a really good question. Honestly, that's a really good question. And the reason why is some enhance body's natural repair rate, but others actually create new cellular level tissue.
Oh, okay.
So what he just said there, he hit both ends of the spectrum. Yes, the answer is yes on both.
Okay.
Depends on the peptide, but some at a cellular level will regenerate and build new tissue.
Wow. Impressive.
So the answer on that one is yes, depending on the peptide, and of course, depending on what your goal is.
All right. We got Dan T from New Jersey. Says, "Are the gains from peptides structural or mostly water glycogen?"
Structural all day long, not water or glycogen at all. You get more water glycogen holding from creatine than you would a peptide. So peptide, absolutely not. It's structural all the way. Like I said, tissue related. It's got nothing to do with water or glycogen whatsoever. You don't take a peptide and get a good pump. Do you see what I'm saying? Nothing to do with that. It doesn't rush blood or water into the muscle or anything like that. So no, peptides have nothing to do with that whatsoever. No water glycogen holding whatsoever.
Okay. Billy B from Hoboken, New Jersey says, "Garrett, you really have great knowledge on this subject. Is there any long-term risk to this?"
With everything, of course, there could be a long-term risk. I hate to sound generic right now. There's not enough studies done if there's long-term risks, but I'm going to if the government just okay this to make their money, they know there's no long-term risks. In my opinion, and I'm going to, again, clarify this. In my opinion, no, there are not long-term risks with this. I have a ton of people that have used peptides. Myself, I have never seen any one negative effect on myself whatsoever from using a peptide. Excellent. Ever. Now you take other things like you take that were popular for a while. There's SARMs, the MK677, and all those things.
Yep.
I don't know if you fooled around with them at all, but I
did
try them here and there. A couple things right off the bat. Okay, they gave me wicked headaches. They made me nauseous.
I took Rad 140. A little bit it was good, I thought, but
it was. They had their benefits, but they gave me side effects off of it.
Yeah,
never had a side effect off of peptide whatsoever. And that was years ago that I used it. It's been a very long time. And yeah, they worked, but there were side effects with it that I went, nah.
Okay. Frank T from New Jersey, he says, "Is there any peptide that has disappointed you the most?"
Me personally,
personally, yeah. Is there anything that you were like, you know what? Not really worth it.
I talked about this last week. Growth hormone secretors.
Okay.
Your CJC 1295, your Samorelin, your ipamorelin, all of the growth hormone secretors. In my opinion, if you're a man and you're trying to go that route, you're wasting your money. Now, as for a female, they take such low levels of growth. Like I said last week, growth hormone secretors at the max will secrete what's even to 1 IU of real HGH. Now, a female can take 1 IU of real HGH and see great results. A man won't. So growth hormone secretors, hands down, I will say, are the most disappointing.
Okay, man. Well, we did another great show today. Next week we're going to talk about another peptide. And again, Garrett, where can they find you, the people? Where can they find you?
Easiest place to find me, Instagram, Pope Training. Or if anybody has questions, I am fine with them emailing me also.
Okay, you want to give out your email?
Yes.
Sure.
I'll spell it. It's MetsPats73 at AOL. And yes, that's the team Mets. That's the team Pats for Patriots, 73 at AOL. Anybody, feel free. I'll answer your question. You email me, I'll answer your question.
Yep. Well, Garrett's the man when it comes to peptides and all this stuff. He knows everything. I'm telling you, not a better person to know this subject. We'll do another episode next week, man. Thank you so much, brother. You got it, man. Great stuff. You got it, brother. You talk to
Started from nothing. Jersey streets, we owned it. Jay-Z pumping iron. Bodybuilder coding. Years on the course.